Don't be an asshole, she said. Does that mean I have to be nice? No, it means don't be an asshole. Sweet, that I can do. Your way is the way, a manifesto of a kind. Hello, this is Emmerich, and I'm going to be reading Your Way is the Way because it's the only way it can be on questingtheunknown.com. It's something I wrote. I wanted to read it for you because I love having the energy of the tones, the movements, the rhythms that come in a voice. And sometimes we read these words ourselves and these things are lost. So I hope you read through it. And if you didn't, and this is your first time with these words, beautiful. If you have read it already, wonderful. And I hope you enjoy this. I'll do my best just to read through it and not add too much commentary, but I will add commentary here and there because there's some things that I would like to add. And since I have your attention and we are here together, why not? So trusting your own wisdom. First, we have to go on a ride. Will you come along with me to explore the possibilities that whatever you want is closer to you having it than you might have ever thought possible? We are completely confused people, humans. We confuse the person with a person's past. We see a person without seeing the person. We take sides without realizing we have taken sides. And we do this to ourselves. You confuse yourself with your past. You see yourself without seeing who you really are. You have taken sides without realizing you have taken a side, and thus you have bound yourself to a false identity. You enjoy your suffering, and you put yourself in situations that cause you more suffering. You are your only problem. I really enjoy saying that. I think it's funny, don't you? The truth is always subvertly comical. Here's another truth. One of the best jokes I have ever heard is a fart joke. So yes, it's juvenile, but it contains more wisdom in 10 words than any 10-hour sermon ever will. And next time you fart, and yes, you do fart, say these very words out loud. Fart noise. Did you hear what that asshole said behind my back? And there you have, within one rhetorical question, the whole of the human condition. We create our own flatulence and then look around to see what asshole putrefied our fresh, pure air. And that is how we live our lives. I cannot tell you how many clients, how many people I have spoken with, and how many times I too have simply refused to get up and move to a more beautiful reality and world. People are addicted to their own drama, and even worse, they are inebriated by the dramas of others. Here's a little aside. I never liked rules, particularly stupid rules that are aimed at suppressing your spirits and emotional joy. I was suspended from high school 3 times. Not a ton, but nevertheless. Once I was suspended for wearing a t-shirt that had a beautiful bubblegum farting dog and little boy on it. You can see the image on the website. There's a quote underneath the dog who's got a fart bubble coming out of its butt. The little boy saying, "You've been eating my bubble gum again, haven't you?" Just recently, I found out that this image was actually created for a cartoon in Playboy. And it was published in 1985, I believe. Anyways, this shirt brought a lot of smiles to those who were caught in teenage ruminations. And I got suspended for wearing it. I was told to turn it inside out. This is in a public school, 1990-ish. Anyways, I found it to be ridiculous. And later on, I reversed the shirt. As soon as I was out of the class, I was told to reverse it. And later, that same teacher, the football coach actually, maybe he didn't like me. He saw me with it, wearing it properly, and came over and sent me to the dean's office, where I was promptly suspended, which I happen to love anyways, because I didn't hate, but I didn't want to be in high school anyways. I had thought it was mostly ridiculous. And I enjoyed being at home by myself much more. So there. Anyways, so that shirt, I really did. It brought a lot of smiles. And I continue reading here. It's amazing how many adult people get off on suppressing others for no other reason than what I must assume is spite and the twisted expression of sardonic separation from their dreams. Anyways, You must live in a different reality. Let other people have their shit. Honestly, you have to let people do whatever they are going to do, and you cannot change them without drowning yourself. This is the easiest thing for people to say, yet one of the most difficult for them to do. Leave people to their ideas about things and focus on discovering yourself completely. Your revolution is here and you are it. Your way is the way. To live in a way that is not yours is suicide by status quo. Those words I do not write with lightness. The most challenging thing you can do is embrace your way with all the wisdom that is within you and with all the sincerity you can muster in the moment. It is the only path to freedom and truth, your way. People get screwed up by their own doing because they are afraid to live by their own choices. They are always reaching out, asking other people for permission of one kind or another. Terrified adults. Adults frightened to lose their own childlike joy once again. A joy that has been psychologically beaten down by the domineering forces of past programming. A past with a craggly hand scratching into their imagined futures. But there is a rebellion that lives within you. It's your internal and eternal power. It's potent and wonderful, and it has been with you since you were a child. Speaking of, like children, none of us like to be told what to do. We rebel against others and we comically rebel against ourselves. It's all kind of a joke, isn't it? But it's also a source of great power and freedom. Your way is the way. Recently, I was speaking with a client about choosing a path, a way of living, to live our best lives. What a mindfuck that is, a best life. There's no codified, united, agreed upon definition of a best life. There can't be. This causes a lot of people to be distraught. People want someone else to tell them how to live their lives. However, no one knows what a best life is for another person. Yet our world is saturated with other people telling other people, really trying to convince other people that they know what a best lived life is. That's an impossibility. A best lived life can only be known by you, and it will never be repeated for another. Never. The way is uniquely yours. You have one opportunity to live your best life, however that looks for you. That life, that opportunity is right now in this moment. There is no path, there is no way other than your way. You have to do whatever you must to experience it for yourself. Freedom and genuine happiness, if they live anywhere, they live there. But only you can find out for you. Revisiting the past to inform the present. Some time ago, I made a video when I began coaching. You can watch it below. Again, it's on the site, questingtheunknown.com. I was happy to share it because the message was true. And then something happened, the questioning. Is this too much? Will it push people away? Yes, no, maybe. It will, and that is a beautiful thing, but I pulled it from my site. Why? Manipulation. Everyone is manipulating someone, and more often than not, we do it in a way that is unconscious to ourselves. It can happen in reverse as well. It's in the silence, in our silence, in what we don't share. I didn't want people to know how I really felt about what most people call their lives. Now, no one actually probably cares about what I think of the way they live. Nevertheless, I'm sharing it with you. Today it matters. Perhaps it matters more than ever for reasons I won't go into in this moment. But encapsulated in this video are two ideas. These two ideas, these two primary points that I want you to contemplate are: 1, most people live terribly boring lives and they know it. Thus, it is a choice. 2, you have to be your own revolution because the choice belongs to no one but you. In other words, it's up to you and you alone to choose how you want to live your life. Also, whatever boring actually is relative to you. That's important to acknowledge. It's also beneficial to acknowledge that most everyone can be left alone because they don't care about their lives. They don't want to explore their life, and they certainly don't want to ask questions about their life and how they're living. I have compassion for them, but I don't have time to spend on people who aren't even willing to spend their own energy and time on themselves. I would suggest you do the same. So, strangely enough, when I mention that the definition of boredom is relative, my life, I believe, would bore most people. But it scares my friends. It makes them nervous. But that's for them to deal with. Nevertheless, they're terrified by the way I live. But I really do believe they would be bored out of their gourds if they lived the way I did. So also there's a video on the site called Your Life So Exciting. That's the video that I pulled that you can go watch there. So, I wrote, no one can do it for you, thus you have to do it alone. It's part of the bargain of being born. And that's making a choice and choosing to know yourself, to know your way, and to go on that journey and to arrive at that place, that state of being where you will trust yourself. So where is all of this going? I'd like to speak on your behalf for a moment, and I'm going to use the terrible word we, W-E. Not we as like we, but we. I actually don't like the we word that much because it's used by people who want to include you in their way of thinking, in their ideologies. It's a word that is often used to put you to sleep, to get you to agree with them, kind of like I am about to do right now. We care about living well. We care about living with sincerity and integrity. We care about the truth, and we care about true freedom. We've looked at the truth, and we've recognized what we don't want to acknowledge so that we can be freer to continue to step forward, proudly walking forward and living our way, your way, my way, and doing so with open hearts and great honesty toward our knowing, even if we keep that to ourselves. Quote, the most challenging thing you can do is embrace your way with all the wisdom that is within you and with all the sincerity you can muster in the moment. The question is, what's next? What's next for you? If the message resonates and the truth is touching you, I want you to come join. Yes, it's an investment, but so is doing nothing. They just get different results. So you can go here. I got a little thing talking about how to get everything you want in a world that doesn't want you to. I'll just read it through. Go here next and check out one of my favorite products. You don't have to buy anything to know if you are a yes. You can say no, which I'm totally okay with, which I imagine you have gathered by now. In fact, we're going to talk a lot about the way you can use the power of the no to get everything you want in the world and to do it your way. So I appreciate the time you've shared with me here, because our greatest asset is our attention. Where we place our attention and what we allow into our mind has great impact and influence on our beings. Your way is the way. Let me say that again. Your way is the way. It's the only way it can be. Then there's a button you can click on to go read a little bit more about how to, more importantly, go join how to get everything you want in a world that doesn't want you to. So I will continue reading. There's a bit more here. You've read this far. I'm honored, and I have a confession. Earlier I said I don't care about what you think, nor what you think of me. And I did delete that. It was earlier in the text. Earlier I said I don't care about what you think, nor what you think of me. That's true, but it's not quite accurate. I want you to have an amazing experience with me here. I'm a perfectionist in my ways, and that will stop me from sharing. It has more times than I want to admit. Also, I barely have space in my mind for what I think, let alone what others think. I'm on the path of mastery. I'm on a path of mastery, and mastery requires particular sacrifices. It means we must be protective of our mental space. The second reason why is because my brain will go to work on your challenges and struggles, and it won't stop. I cannot tell you how many clients have been with me in the shower, taken walks on the beach along my side, and entered my meditations even though I'm sitting alone in the darkness. It's expensive real estate, and I didn't honor it as much as I wish I would have. Maybe this is a bit of a warning for you to do the same, to protect your mindscapes as well. Nonetheless, we can speak more of this if you would like, because there's a lot to learn about creating our environment, doing great work, and creating time to honor the genius that lives within you. But for now, I wanted to explain my words above. And I want to invite you to come into this reality of mine for a time. It's a different world, and it will transform your relationship with reality itself if you are willing to let it. Your way is the way because it's the only way it can be. Your way is the way because it's the only way it can be. Thank you so much for spending some time here. I really enjoyed reading that. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. Check out the website, questingtheunknown.com. Questing, like going on a quest. Questingtheunknown.com. I really believe, I know, and I have experience for myself and with others that I've worked with, but particularly with myself, because you have to know these things for yourself. You have to go on the journey. You have to experience. It's interesting. I'm telling you, you have to experience something. You don't, but I believe, I know, I believe because I know, and I know because I've experienced, and I understand what freedom actually is. And living life your way on your terms is one of the most beautiful things a human being can do. It really is an honor to your life itself. So I'll leave it there because otherwise I'll keep talking forever. But anyways, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time here. If you have any questions, you want to reach out and email me, you can find a link on the site for my email. More importantly, come along on the adventure. There's so much more. I'm going to do my best here to make something that's absolutely transformational for you, that's powerful, that's moving, that really opens up new avenues and new ways of seeing the world and being in the world. That's my work. It's what I'm doing with myself all the time. And it really turns me on. And I hope it will turn you on because I believe it will turn you on. And that's it. All right. Hugs and love, of course. And here's to living a most beautiful, wonderful life. For the love of beauty and for love and beauty.